Today we're talking about the origin of the universe. So the standard is asking questions to determine changes in models of our position of Earth in the solar system and how those universe has changed based on scientific theories that can change because of new information. So what is the universe? The universe is space and all of the matter and energy that are within it. So there are several things that help make up this universe, and noting that they are in order from smallest to largest. The solar system is the smallest part of what's in the universe. It must contain at least one star with objects orbiting around that specific star. In our solar system, it is the sun. Then you have a star cluster, which is a group of stars. They are held together by gravity, and this cluster can actually contain as many as hundreds of thousands of stars within it. Then we have what's known as a galaxy. The galaxy contains millions of billions of stars. And then you have a galaxy cluster, which is when you have multiple galaxies pulled together. So it basically would be dozens of galaxies. And then you have the largest of all the items, which is a supercluster, which contains hundreds of galaxies. So again, from smallest to largest, solar system, star cluster, galaxy, galaxy cluster, supercluster. So looking at these pictures, we have four words: solar system, galaxy cluster, galaxy, and star cluster. Take a moment, look at them, think about what they might represent, noting all the different images. All right, let's see. The first one is a galaxy cluster. The second one is the solar system. The third is the galaxy by itself. And then you have the star cluster, noting that all of these dots are stars, all of these are galaxies, and this is one giant galaxy, and this is Earth. So what are the scientific views for the creation of the universe? There are two major views. The first one is the steady state theory. It's a generalized theory that some astronomers believe, and it's the idea that it holds the universe has no beginning or end, and it pretty much remains constant or the same. Like the Big Bang theory, it does state and hold that the universe is getting bigger or expanding, but new matter is considered to be created from energy as hydrogen, which condenses and forms new stars and galaxies to maintain the, quote, steady state, meaning it's not really doing a whole lot, it's kind of remaining as constant. That's what some people believe. The alternate of that is the Big Bang theory. This was proposed by the Belgian astronomer Georges Lemaitre, and this was in 1927. Basically, the Big Bang theory stated that about 13.7 billion years ago, all of the matter found in the universe was concentrated in a single, incredibly tiny point, which was often referred to as singularity. We don't know the reasons, but due to those unknown reasons, this began to enlarge rapidly in a hot explosion. And they believe it is still expanding today. Therefore, the Big Bang was a giant explosion that's growing as we learn today. The evidences that support this were approved by Edwin Hubble, and they are that galaxies are moving away, and the further away the galaxy is, the faster it moves. So basically, the farther it goes, the quicker it's moving. And both of these were by Edwin Hubble, who is also the creator and founder of the Hubble telescope. So these are two models that kind of show it. The Big Bang model, as you can see, the dots expand and get further apart. In the steady state model, the dots appear to stay in the exact same places. So in Big Bang, basically that means the galaxies, the density of the galaxies fall as the universe expands, as it gets bigger, whereas they remain constant in the steady state. So there are five main people that are important to understand in contribution to the universe. They are Sir Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, Georges Lemaitre, Edwin Hubble, and George Gamow. So Isaac Newton, I'm sure you've heard of him, did develop the law of universal gravitation. He did state that every object in the universe was attracted to another object. He explained that's why objects fall towards the center of the earth, meaning that's why a ball falls when it is thrown in the air. Albert Einstein, also somebody very known, developed the theory of relativity that explains how the gravity causes space and time to curve. George Lemaitre used the equation created by Einstein to help show that our universe is currently and still expanding, meaning it's getting bigger. He thought it was expanding, but he had to start somewhere in the idea of why and in that tiny small space. So again, he developed the Big Bang theory. Edwin Hubble produced actual evidence people could see in the form of the telescope by supporting the idea that we are expanding and that we are getting further apart. And George Gamow outlined a mathematical theory that explained how elements in the universe formed from hydrogen and helium. All 5 of these gentlemen were very important in helping us to understand the contribution of the universe. So there are 2 theories that are for the solar system. And the first one is the Ptolemaic theory, or the geocentric theory. Geo is a root word and it means earth, and centric is a root word which means center. So Ptolemy was well developed for his time. He lived in the 2nd century CE, and this theory was widely accepted for more than 1,500 years. And it was because the Roman Catholic Church agreed with this theory. They said nothing is moving here on earth, therefore the sun is moving and it is going around us, meaning it is earth-centered. Geo means earth, so earth was in the center and everything revolved around us. Well, Nicholas Copernicus was a scientist and he developed what is known as the Copernican model, or the heliocentric model. Again, centric means center, helio means sun. He believed that the sun was in the center and that we were actually moving, even though you couldn't tell. This was developed in 1543, but it took a long time for people to accept his theory. Actually, much of them accepted it way past his death. And the reason was they didn't want to go against the church because they were scared to disagree, and they were uneducated. They only believed what people told them. So if nobody else agreed with this model, and he couldn't provide proof at the time, nobody was going to accept it. Therefore, that was the debate between the Ptolemaic and the Copernican theories.